माय चैनल। तो आज हम खेलने वाले हैं गेटिंग ओवर इट। और मैंने पहले भी बहुत बार ये गेम खेल चुका हूँ और मगर काफ़ी दिनों बाद खेल रहा हूँ तो
There's no feeling more
शायद
intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due,
थोड़ी सी
as I
प्रॉब्लम आ
have,
सकती है।
or if you left your wallet at
चलिए
home
देखते
and you
हैं।
have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino, you didn't put all your winnings on red, but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what
ये
you're about
जगह
to go
beginners
through
के
might
लिए
be too
शायद
much.
सबसे मुश्किल हो सकती
Feel free
है।
to go away and come
यहाँ
back.
से
I'll
पार
be here.
करने में पहली बार बहुत दिनों लग जाते हैं, मगर मुझे थोड़ी सी
Alright,
प्रैक्टिस
thanks for
होती है
coming with
इसके
me on this
लिए।
trip.
तो
I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. Don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes.
मगर
This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, Sexy
अच्छी
Hiking.
तरह से
The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished
चलो
products.
देखते हैं। लास्ट जंप, अरे यार
In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is
ये
simply to
जगह
drag yourself up a mountain with
सबसे
a
आसान
hammer.
जगहों में से एक है और
And that act
मुश्किल
of
जगह है।
climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery, and the player is
यहाँ पे
constantly,
है
unremittingly
ये
in
शायद
danger of
सबसे मुश्किल
falling
जगहों
and
में
losing
से
a
एक
bit.
है। यहाँ से गिरे तो एकदम नीचे जाने का खतरा
Anyway, when
रहता
you
है
start Sexy
और
Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the
क्या
game.
होता है यहाँ से।
It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over.
हो गया
And there's a
शायद
sense of
हो
truth
जाएगा
in
शायद।
that lack of compromise.
हो गया
Most obstacles in video game worlds are
चलो,
fake.
चलते
You
हैं
can be
यहाँ
completely
से।
confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real. The obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of
जगह
climbing,
मुझे कहीं
and it's
से
authentic to the
तकलीफ होती है यहाँ
process
से
of building a game
ऊपर
about
जाने
climbing.
में।
A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard.
अरे यार
But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder.
वेरी
Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts
ये
to climb
गेम
them.
अब
And it's our
थोड़ी सी
repeated
आसान हो
attempts
गई
to
है
reach
मेरे
the
लिए।
summit
मैंने
that turns those mountains into
बहुत
something
ज़्यादा
real.
ही कंप्लीट कर चुका हूँ इसको। पहले बहुत ज़्यादा खेलता
When you're
था
building a
और
video
अब
game
शायद
world, you're building with ideas. And that can be
कभी
like
खेलता
working
हूँ,
with quickset cement.
ज़्यादा नहीं होता ये
You
गेम।
mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be
यहाँ से
played
जंप
with.
कर पूरा जाना
And in the
पड़ता
process of
है।
playing with
अरे
them,
यहाँ से मत
they begin to
गिर जाना,
harden
चली
and set
जाएगी।
until they're immutable, like rock.
यहाँ पे थोड़ा
And at that
बैलेंस करना
point,
पड़ता
you
है,
can't
मगर
change the
ये
world.
जगह
Not without breaking
अच्छे
it into
से
pieces
जंप
and
करने
starting
तक
fresh with
ज़्यादा
new
मुश्किल नहीं
ideas.
है, बैलेंस हो जाता है।
For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated
अरे
objects,
गिर मत
bought in a
मत।
store and assembled into a world.
अरे यार
And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made, although a lot of them are. I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context, and once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds.
चलो चलते हैं।
Over time,
दोबारा
we've
करते हैं।
poured more and more refuse
Yeah.
into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet.
थोड़ा सा
It now vastly
balance हो
outnumbers
रहा है।
and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash.
ये आखिरी शाम
But only trash culture. B games, B movies, B music, B philosophy.
ये गेम
Maybe
मैंने
this is what
शायद
digital culture
50 से
is.
60 बार के
A
ऊपर
monstrous
कंप्लीट कर
mountain
चुका
of
हूँ।
trash, the ash
इसलिए
heap
आप
of
देख सकते
creativity's
हैं मेरा
fountain.
ये जो
A
मटका
landfill
है ये
with everything we ever thought of in it.
गोल्डन हो
Grand,
चुका है और
infinite,
ये बल्टी
and
का
unsorted.
जगह ये जगह मुझे हमेशा से ही बहुत
There's
ज़्यादा
3D models
बुरी
of
लगती है
breakfast,
यहाँ से
Gen X's fanfic novels,
मतलब
scan
मैं पहली
magazines,
बार कभी
green
नहीं कर
screen
सकता
Shia
ये जगह।
LaBeouf, banned snuff scenes on
अरे अरे
LiveLeak.
अरे
Facebook's got lifelike
ये
bots with
बात थी, एक
unbranded
बार में बैलेंस
adverts and
क्यों नहीं
candid shots of
होता?
Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed gifs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled. Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight. In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland
अरे
things?
क्या क्या किया ये बाल्टी बहुत
When
आसान
games
है
were
मगर
new,
मुझसे
they
कभी
wanted a
ये
lot
ज़्यादा
from you.
जल्दी नहीं
Daunting,
होता पता नहीं
taunting,
क्यों
resetting and delaying you. Players played stoically. Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly. A quick fix for the fickle, some tricks for the clicks of the feckless. But that's not you. You're an acrobat. You could swallow a baseball bat. Now I know, most likely you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, while some dude with 10 million views does it for you. Like a baby bird being fed chewed up food. That's culture
इस
too.
बार हो जाए अच्छे से प्लीज हो गया
But on the off chance that you're playing this, what I'm saying is, trash is disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable.
जिससे
What's the
मैं इस बार
feeling?
बहुत सेफ
Are
खेल
you
रहा हूँ
stressed? I guess you don't hate it. If you got this far, feeling frustrated. It's underrated.
गिरना नहीं है मेरे को और ये जगह मुझे बहुत
An
पसंद है
orange
मगर
is
यहाँ से
sweet,
मैं
juicy fruit locked inside a
गलत
bit
है
of peel.
कि जब ये
That's not how I feel about a challenge.
हथौड़ा जब
I only want the
बर्फ के
bitterness.
अंदर
It's
तो एक अलग ही
coffee.
सेटिस्फेक्शन
It's
मिलता है
grapefruit. It's licorice.
चलो हो जाएगा अरे
It feels like we're closer now. Composer and climber, designer and user. You could have refused, but you didn't. There was something in you that was hidden, that chose to continue. It means a lot to me that you've come this far, endured this much. Every wisecrack, every insensitivity, every setback you've forgiven me is a kingly gift that you've given me. We have the same taste, you and I. It's not ambition. It's ambition's opposite.
अरे क्या
An
हो रहा है
obdurate
यहाँ पे
mission
मैं
to taste defeat.
इतना देर तो नहीं लगा
You'll feel bad if you win, so I put this snake in for you.
अरे
Have you thought about who you are in this? Are you the man in the pot, Diogenes? Are you his hand? Are you the top of his hammer?
हो गया
I think not. Where your hand moves, the hammer may not follow, nor the man, nor the man's hand. And this here is will,
अच्छे से
his
हो जाए
intent,
बस ये
the
आखिरी
embodied
ये टावर
resolve in this uphill ascent.
कुछ अच्छे से क्यों नहीं होता इस गेम में कभी भी
Now, you've conquered the ice cliff, the platforms, church, and the
यहाँ पे
rectory,
आके
the living room and the factory, the playground, the construction site, the granite rocks, and the lakeside. You've learned to hike. There's no way left to go but
Hey.
up, and in a moment I'll shut up. But let me say, I'm glad you came.
हो गया और यहाँ से खतरा ज़्यादा नहीं रहता मगर यहाँ से भी नीचे जा सकते
I
हैं मगर
dedicate this
होता
game
नहीं
to
ऐसा
you, the
यहाँ
one
से
who
आसान
came
हो
this
जाता है पूरा
far.
गेम यहाँ से कुछ नहीं है
I
बाकी
give it to you with all
और एक
my
साथ
heart.
आखिरी पुश पे गेम कंप्लीट हो जाएगा अरे अरे नीचे क्यों जा रहा है ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था चलो यहाँ पे शायद इस पे एक और पुश देना पड़ेगा। स्ट्राइक, पहली स्ट्राइक शायद कुछ ज़्यादा स्लो मार दी थी, अब थोड़ा ज़ोर से मारना पड़ेगा। अच्छा, ऊपर ऊपर ऊपर, अच्छे से, हल्के से, हल्के हल्के। अब थोड़ा ज़ोर का स्ट्राइक। अब उठो। हो गया, हो गया। देखते हैं कितनी देर लगा कंप्लीट करने में। अब इंट्रो कौन देखेगा, सॉरी आउट्रो। 10 मिनट लग गए और ये मेरा 71 शायद